So it's Sunday today, and I, always feel, even when we're having retreat, that the energy on Sunday is a little bit different. Kind of it's a little bit calmer usually and more quieter. And so it made me reflect on stress and how, we so often get stressed in the rest of the week. And even when we're doing retreat, we can get stressed. I want my mind to be a certain way, and it's not the way I want it to be. Or I want to do so many mantras, and I'm way behind where I want to be. Or I want to have a certain experience, and my mind is instead rerunning old movies. Whatever it is. So sometimes our stress is about ourselves because we want ourselves to be different than we are. Sometimes I find our stress is about the world because we want other people or the environment to be different than the way they are. Okay? But in both situations, what's common is that our mind is saying, I don't like what's happening now, and everything should be the way I want it to be. And these people should do this, and they shouldn't do that. And my goodness, how come they're doing that? Don't they know? And we do that to ourselves, I should do this and I shouldn't do that. And what's wrong with me, that I'm not cooperating with my own expectations. And when I look inside, so this builds up like a lot of frustration and anger and stress. And in our low rig, when we've been studying the 9 kinds of cognizers, what kind of cognizer is this one? It's a conceptual mind. Okay, so that means that it's all made up in our mind. Okay, and what other kind of cognizer is it? It's also a wrong consciousness. Why is it a wrong consciousness?
Because it's not correct.
Because it's not. Why isn't it correct? Yeah, well, yes, of course, you can always say that. But, in particular, what are we doing at this time? What is our mind doing that's making this a wrong consciousness?
It's not perceiving directly?
No, that's not the only thing. Isn't it that we have ideas about the way things should be? Yeah, and our ideas are not matching the way they should be, are not matching the way they are. Isn't this? Of course that's based on inherent existence and grasping the impermanent as permanent and all that. But more specifically, like the specific kind of inappropriate attention, is we have our idea of how we want things to be, and they aren't that way. And I should be able to control them. Yeah, this is the epitome of control freak way of thinking, isn't it? And we're all control freaks. This is nothing new. All sentient beings are control freaks, because we want to be able to make everything and everybody be the way that we think they should be. Yeah. And so this expectation, this way of thinking, is what creates the stress. It's not the fact that people are doing this and that and the other thing. That's not what's creating the stress. It's our conceptual mind that is thinking they should be this way, and second, that I should be able to control them to make them that way. Yeah? And so at this point, to get rid of stress, we just need to give up. It's like, I can't control the world. Duh. It's like the simplest thing. Of course we can't control the world. Duh. I can't control it. I can influence, but I can't control. So I have to accept the way things are and work within what is. Yeah, this is so hard for us, isn't it? Yeah? Because each one of us can look in our minds and you want the kitchen to be a certain way. And, it's not that way. And somebody else wants the laundry room to be a certain way. And it's not that way. And I want people in this Abbey to behave in a certain way. And, oh, forget it. And, so it's like this is just part of our Dharma practice. It's like, accept what is. We can't control. Nobody is asking us to control the whole world. Nobody outside is saying that we should be able to make it all the way we want it to be and make other people say and do what we want them to say and do and make other people think the way we want them to think. There's just a thing about accepting what is. Yeah? And, I remember some years ago when I was getting really frustrated about the amount of knapweed on the property. And if you wait and come in summer, you'll understand. And then I thought, 10 years ago, I didn't even know this piece of property existed. And I wasn't frustrated about the level of knapweed at that time. Why am I getting so bent out of shape about the knapweed now? Yeah? 10 years ago, this was some years ago, so 10 years ago, if somebody had said, oh, there's knapweed here, I would have said, what's knapweed? And they would have told me, and I would say, that's too bad, good to see if you can do something about it. But, I certainly wouldn't be kind of crazy about it. So then I had to say to myself, well, then why am I making myself crazy now? Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's just okay. So there's knapweed, so we do what we can. What else is new? Okay? So I think, for all of us in our practice, and this is certainly relating to the 4 establishments of mindfulness, to notice when you have stress in the mind, because there's definitely an unpleasant mental feeling at that time. And then to notice the kind of inappropriate attention, because inappropriate attention is one of the mental factors, so included in phenomena. That is, and there's probably several mental factors, going along in a stressed mind. And just step back and watch these things. And okay, where is that coming from? What's causing it? And how does it feel in my mind? And what is its effect? So looking at the cause, the nature, and the effect of different mental states, and just observing that, examining that, so it brings some understanding into your mind about how your mind is working. Yeah? And so often that understanding just by itself settles the mind down. Yeah? Because when we can see our incorrect way of thinking, then automatically, it calms down. And of course we, should apply the antidotes on top of that, because it's not going to stay that calm forever. Okay. But, it really adds some clarity to, okay, what is a correct consciousness? What is an incorrect consciousness? What does it do to what do correct consciousnesses do to my feelings? What do incorrect consciousnesses do to my feelings? When I have certain pleasant, unpleasant feelings, how do I react? And how do those feelings sometimes create more inappropriate attention? And go back and forth between these two, see how they, one can influence the other. Okay? So it's very interesting. But it's Sunday, so we might as well relax. And we should make every day Sunday in the sense of having a relaxed mind. Because it doesn't matter what day it is, we can't control.